Someone recently asked me a question on social media about phantom pains. They said, "I'm a leg amputee. Phantom pains are the worst, but do you get any kind of phantom pains/sensations in your paralyzed areas?" Well, that is a great, excellent question. First, I just want to share what phantom pains are for anyone who isn't familiar with what this means. The Mayo Clinic defines phantom pains like this. Phantom pain is a pain that feels like it's coming from a body part that's no longer there. Doctors once believed this post-amputation phenomenon was a psychological problem, but experts now recognize that these are real sensations and they originate in the spinal cord and brain. Now, I just have to say that every injury and disability is different. Someone who has lost a limb is going to have a different experience with phantom sensations than someone who is paralyzed. I know some people who are amputees who get phantom pains, and they're very real. And people who are paralyzed, even with the same level of injuries, are going to have different physical sensations from each other. So today, I'm just going to share my experience with phantom sensations and pain. When I was in the ICU after my accident, I was on a lot of drugs, and I was also very, very sick because I nearly died in the hospital from septic shock because I was having a lot of pain in my neck. They had me on some very strong drugs and medications. Those caused intense hallucinations, and I'll share a video in the caption where I talked about those in more detail. But for me, some of those phantom pains included physical pain. It was very hard to explain to others, but thankfully, my occupational therapist made me feel better about what was going on. The phantom pains that I experienced were like this. I could see my arms and my legs laying on the bed, but that's not where I could feel my arms and legs. I felt like I was lying on a lawn chair with my arms straight over my head, hanging backward and scraping on cement. It hurt so bad, and I couldn't stop them from scraping. Of course, again, I could see my hands lying on the bed, and there was no cement, but I felt something very different. Now, when it came to my feet, I had to wear shoes even in my hospital bed because I didn't want my feet to drop. But my phantom sensation was that I was sitting on the floor, as if I was sitting on the floor with my legs bent backwards in a V, and my tennis shoes were rubbing up against my body. It was very strange, but my occupational therapist learned that I was experiencing these phantom legs, which is a phenomenon that people with spinal cord injuries sometimes experience. I was so thankful that my OT was knowledgeable about all of this, and she helped me realize that I wasn't alone in experiencing these phantom sensations and phantom pains, and that I was not losing my mind. It was all a common occurrence for people who have had these life-changing experiences and intense bodily changes. Now, one thing that really helped me when my family members would hold my arms and my hands so I could have that pressure and feel where they were. This brought me so much comfort and helped me feel grounded in reality. To this day, I sometimes have phantom legs, and that's where I have the sensation that my legs are straight out, even when they're bent. But I do not have any more phantom pains. It's not painful. Thankfully, I left that all behind in the hospital after those first few weeks, and I'm really glad that it's not something I struggle with to that degree anymore. So thank you for asking your great question. To my understanding, amputees have a different experience with phantom pains that sometimes goes on for years. That's not my experience, but if you're going through that right now and you're experiencing phantom pains, be sure to talk to your doctor or professional about this to help you cope during this time. Thank you.